We are just over 1 week away from the release of James Gunn's Superman. We have Jurassic World Rebirth, which is basically out this week. Next week, we have the Superman movie, which is fantastic. Super summer of movies. And then we have the Fantastic Four movie coming out later this month. So, I thought because we are very close to this movie coming out, we would go over some of the plot leaks. In fact, the whole plot leak, to see is it actually true based on the trailers. I can give you a spoiler, it is most likely 100% true. But what I've noticed going around since we've had these 30 minutes fan screenings, there's actually one tomorrow night in London where they are showing a bit of footage. They've got the cast and crew there, but they're not showing the whole movie, which is kind of a waste of time for people going. I mean, sure, if you want the optics of going to a little red carpet event, fine, it's cool. But they've already started to show the whole movie to certain people in America. Now, I don't understand why the TikTok influencers and certain media get preferential treatment over anyone else. It's like there's an event coming up tomorrow in England, but they're only showing a little bit of the movie because it's basically a fan event. But you're all going to be under an NDA if you watch the whole movie anyway, till I think it's the 7th or 8th. Anyway, so it literally makes no sense to me. And also, there's been this mandate from people going around, I think. It's not an official mandate. It's people are making out that the trailers are very misleading and it's not an indicative figure of the actual whole movie, when literally, when we go over this plot leak, you can literally see the whole movie in all the trailers, and still they are showing more and more footage, which I've had people I know personally hitting me up being like, yo, why is the CGI? Why if the VFX getting worse and worse? And I'm like, well, they hired the Flash team to do it. And unlike the Flash movie, they've had a long time to do the VFX and CGI. Now, I'm not going to judge the VFX and CGI based on the trailers, but I don't think the real thing is going to be much different. I don't know why the CGI and VFX is so bad, but I've had people hit me up in real life, be like, yo, I've got basically saying, yo, did you see the Superman movie? Is it worth watching? And obviously I've not watched it yet, but from what I'm hearing from people in my circle and people that know me personally, no one cares for this movie. But I really hope this does bang $1 billion because I want DC to shine again. For me, the heyday with DC was actually the Arrowverse, you know, Stephen Amell Arrow, Grant Gustin, The Flash. That was the heyday, not the Snyderverse, as you lads seem to think I'm a Snyder fan. So there's been a lot of people trying to make out the leaks are fake, but I hate to tell you this, lads, they're 100% true. And this is why you should actually stop looking at TV spots. They revealed one of the biggest retcons of the Superman canon is true, thus for it means the whole movie is basically out there. But I don't know if it's true, but let's go over a plot leak from 3 months ago to see if we can decipher if it is actually true. So, careful with spoilers, I don't want to ruin your life. But if you watch a channel like mine or anyone in the pop culture space, everyone covers the leaks. Even these review channels that make out they're too good for that shiz, they cover them as well. Superman is taken to the Fortress of Solitude to be healed by the robots who work there. Now, obviously, it's worth saying it's not going to be 1-for-1, as in the whole 2-hour plus movie 1-for-1, but a good proportion of this movie is literally out there. And then it goes on to say, and we've seen Superman being healed by the robots in the earlier trailers. Lex Luthor and his team are introduced. They hate Superman and devise a plan to eliminate him, involving a partnership with the government of a foreign nation to take over a small country, a political metaphor. I won't say exactly what it's saying, but it pretty much is true, because if you go back to a leak further ago, a certain creator said something and they had to change the country because of what was going on in the real world. At the Daily Planet, Jimmy Olsen behaves as expected, but with a twist. Girls obsess, fawn over him, and he can't escape their attention. And trailers literally back this all up. Lois questions Clark on how consistently he gets interviews with Superman, creating some attention. Lois goes to her apartment at night and finds Clark there. It is revealed they've been secretly dating for 3 months and she knows he's Superman. Their tension is all part of this cute role play thing at work. It's worth saying this came out 3 months ago. Exactly. So it's pretty much confirmed to be true. In her living room, Lois complains about Clark always interviewing Superman. She's playfully turns on her microphone to record him, starting as a cute game, but devolving into a long domestic argument about foreign policy and Superman's involvement. And from the outside looking in, it does look like Superman is a whiny. I'm going to have to bleep that word, but yeah, it does seem like Superman is a whiny. Doesn't seem passionate. It just seems like he's a whiny universe. I said what I said. Obviously, I'm looking forward to this movie, but I said what I said, lad. Lex Luthor releases a monster into the city to fight Superman, who defeats them. The Justice Gang appears and helps in the fight. They are basically the Guardians of the Galaxy. So yeah, Lex, this kaiju, it's not, I think it's disrespectful to Toho. Kaiju. It's not a freaking kaiju. It's not even close to being a monster, like an actual kaiju at all. Now, this next bit's being confirmed by, it's all being confirmed by a trailer. I'm not trying to defend that it's not real at this point. At one point, Lex enters the Fortress of Solitude, uncorrupts Jor-El's message about Superman being sent to conquer the world and broadcast them worldwide. The message turns humanity against Superman, making him an outcast. And we can literally see this in the trailer. And it's everywhere where it literally says Superman sent to Earth to destroy them. I mean, that's not original, let's be honest. Anyone who watches anime knows exactly where that's come from, but that's not original. Superman, shunned by the world, returns to his human family. It's worth saying that the biggest joke of them all, the super shiz, the online bullying, the monkey kind of part has been cut. But like I said, they've been mandated from Warner Bros. Discovery, although Gunn would say that's not true. It literally is true, because where has 15 minutes been cut from this movie? Lex Luthor has access to a pocket universe where he traps people he hates, including his ex-girlfriend. He violently beats Crypto and takes him to this universe. Somehow Superman ends up being trapped there too. And you know the clip where he goes, "Where is the dog? The dog!" Where, I mean, you know the bit where he's acting like an absolute that bit there. I mean, this is all true, but I don't feel bad posting this because we're just breaking down information that's literally shown in a trailer. Lois and the Justice Gang discover Superman's location in a pocket universe through Jimmy, who had secretly been sexting. This is so James Gunn humor. Sexting Lex Luthor's girlfriend. She's obsessed with Superman, and her proactive photos unintentionally reveal confidential data. Superman eventually escapes the pocket universe by flipping through pixelated lava, which looks like Minecraft. And it is also worth saying that if you know DC, pocket universes, pocket dimensions are kind of standard in this universe. It goes on to say, Superman saves people, fights the foreign army, earning forgiveness from others. Now, it also is worth saying, I've been told there is a hell of a cool scene in this movie, and it's probably this bit here. The best action scene, as good as the hallway scene in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, involves Mr. Terrific. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was good, but I think people overhype James Gunn's movies. Although they do get critically acclaimed and the audience loves them, and they're never really groundbreaking, let's be honest, lads. Superman learns about Luthor's plans with the foreign nation. He informs the government, but Luthor counters by revealing the clone Superman. They start fighting, who shares his DNA and can also access the Fortress of Solitude. Now we see their fight in the baseball ground. We literally see them attacking the Fortress of Solitude, where the engineer, etc. is there. Superman defeats the clone that apparently is rumoredly played by David Cornsweet. He's playing a dual role, and that is why they've not revealed his face yet. Luthor is taken to jail. It's also worth saying Ultraman's not played by Henry Cavill. It's just a bit of a trolly thing I put on Instagram. I don't actually think that. Superman returns to the Fortress of Solitude, where a junk sorority version of Supergirl appears to reclaim her dog, Crypto. She had asked Superman to watch him for the week. It's also worth saying James Gunn recently confirmed this in an interview where he basically says Supergirl is an absolute mess in this universe, which is a very interesting take because it's always a clean-cut version of Supergirl. Personally, I like the CW version that started on CBS of Melissa Benoist, where it started on CBS and it turned over and switched into CW channel. But y'all think I'm not a DC fan. I watched pretty much all of Supergirl. Superman sits back, asks to see his family again, but instead of Jor-El, it's his human family. All this is basically being confirmed by trailers. It's all there. You can see this all in trailers. So it's not really me ruining anything. I'm not saying this is one for one and this is exactly how it's going to go down, but it is pretty much out there. And it seems like the mid-credit scene and the post-credit scene are absolutely freaking pointless as well. We've covered them in other videos. No need to go over it in this video. But I'm just breaking down, like, you know, comparing the trailers to what this information is saying. And all this information is literally there. So the whole plot is out there, but is the execution going to be great? I don't know. It could be. And also, James Gunn himself has literally confirmed that Bradley Cooper's in this movie, which confirms the Jor-El storyline. And some other people that he's worked with is also in this movie. There is a fake rumor about the Batman of the DCU appearing in this movie. I mean, I'm not going to say whether that's true or false. But like I say, only certain people have seen this movie and they're under heavy NDA. No, they're really not under. I mean, behind the scenes, yeah. Behind the scenes, people are yapping to me, but publicly, yeah, they're NDA. But I mean, that's just standard, you know, influencer stuff, isn't it? Where they tell you shit behind the scenes, but they won't come out and say it because they'll lose access if they do. But it is interesting. And you can defer all this is true based on just comparing it to trailers. I don't need to say if it is true or not, but that is basically the skeleton plot for this movie. Really freaking excited for this movie. It does sound cool, but a lot of it, some of it, does sound generic. I said what I said because some of it does sound pretty generic. So like always, guys, thank you very much for all the love and support on the Marvel, DC, and Monsterverse videos. I try my best to cover everything on this channel. We're not just a generic channel that will only cover one thing because, I mean, respectfully, if I was to just cover Marvel, that would be boring. If I was just to cover DC, that would be freaking boring. Oh, wouldn't it? It really would. And I wish I could cover more. I'm going to try and cover more. So like always, guys, I'll catch you in another video very soon. But first, check us out on Instagram at Warstu. Check us out on Twitter, WarstuJ. And check us out on TikTok, WWarstu. And I'll catch you in another video very soon, guys. Catch you later.